It has been really divisive, whether you're talking to municipal leaders, mayors, or you're talking to just, people on the street. I'm sitting in front of a school here in Etobicoke. I've spoken to 3 people outside of this school. There's a speed camera right here in this school zone. First of all, you can see that there's red, looks like spray paint that at one point someone used to vandalize this camera. It has since been replaced. And just this month alone, some 20 speed cameras in Toronto were vandalized or torn down. That's one issue. When it comes to opinions, 3 people I've spoken to. One says he absolutely hates them. He doesn't want these speed cameras. He agrees with the Premier that they're cash grabs. The second one, a father who told me he agrees with them only in school zones. And the third, a woman who says these cameras have to be there. There's kids here. So that's how divisive this issue really is. You heard from Councillor Romino Santos there from Brampton. She says that in Brampton, there's evidence that where these speed cameras are, it has reduced speeding by about 9 kilometers per hour. Mississauga, very similar data. And despite the fact that Mississauga's Mayor Carolyn Parrish says she typically agrees with the Premier, she says that on this issue, she does not agree with him and will be taking it up with him at a dinner party tonight. Here's more from Mississauga's Mayor.
For every single person who gets a ticket and calls us and yells and screams, we get 10 or 20 parents at a meeting that'll say thank you very much for putting them up. So I'm disappointed. I usually agree with Mr. Ford. I get along with him very well, but I don't agree with him on this one. I'm hoping we can get some exemptions and some modifications.
And so some of the other municipal leaders are calling for compromise. They want to sit down with the Premier, have a conversation as to how to utilize existing cameras outside of school zones specifically. That's the chief concern here. As for, the general public, people love them, people hate them. Some people don't believe that they actually deter speeding. And in fact, in the city of Toronto, one camera alone, a single camera, issued 65,000 tickets. And so that's the Ford government essentially saying, well, it's not deterring behavior. It's just racking up tickets and costing taxpayers a lot of money. Others saying, well, hey, if you didn't speed, and perhaps the speed limit on those cameras can be adjusted to reflect an appropriate number that the province has the power to actually implement, that could be a fair compromise. Here's a dad who I spoke to just outside of the school in Etobicoke.
I live around the corner. This street's a 30. People don't get fast anyway. It's, there's sharp curves and everything else. I go to work at 5:30 in the morning. I drive down here to slow down to 30 at 5:30 in the morning when school's not in session. It's just a cash grab. That's what I feel.
So what happens next as we show you live pictures of this particular speed camera here in Etobicoke? If this piece of legislation is passed when it's tabled next month, and it very likely will, Bakari and Sija, why? The Ford government's got a majority government. It'll be debated and then very likely passed. Once it gets royal assent, all of these machines, they can't issue tickets anymore. They'll have to have large signs in school zones letting drivers know to slow down. And then by next year, you won't see this infrastructure anymore across the province of Ontario. Back to you.
All right, CP24's Beatrice Vaisman reporting live.